EdTech here, and I'm back to talk about Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 6, and my thoughts on this episode. And my thoughts are, this was boring. Nothing happened in this episode. I mean, again, when you've turned your series into pretty much, we have to make sure a girl is confident enough to do something, then, yeah, your series is in trouble. This show is pointless to watch, and it is absolutely boring too. Nothing happened in this episode. Nothing. I mean, you could say the soon crap is something, but who fucking cares? Nothing happened. We were stuck in a fucking party for most of this episode. This should have been a 15-minute scene in the party, and then we should have moved on. Because these writers are not competent enough to write something good in one place. Because, again, they're just not good at their jobs. They just aren't. There was nothing entertaining in this episode. There was a fucking bullshit story about Picard's dad again, because they are really trying to force this whole abusive father shit through. To really guarantee that we all make sure we thank, Picard's mother for getting Captain Picard. And yeah, I just didn't care. I don't give a shit. I don't consider this canon. I'm sorry. We've already seen in the... I'll deal with that shit in spoilers, sorry. But, oh my god, it's just getting to an annoying point now. But yeah, nothing happened in this episode. And Patrick Stewart's acting, it's up, it's down, it's all over the place. I mean... He's too old. I'm sorry. He's too old. William Shatner is bloody older than Patrick Stewart, and he can still fucking talk like he's not fucking 100. But yeah, and it just like the fact they released the season 3 trailer of Picard this week just shows how desperate they are for people to come back to watch this show. Because it isn't trending anywhere. It isn't bringing in great viewership numbers. I mean, they're promising the entire fucking cast of Next Generation because of how fucking bad Patrick Stewart is on his own. There's nothing redeeming about him. Patrick Stewart was supposed to bring in the Star Trek fans, and it didn't work. And so they've had to bring back Q to also try to bring back the Star Trek fans. And I'm sorry, but that hasn't worked either. I mean, how can that fucking work when you've made Q a depressing, evil cunt? When he's not that at all. This show is on life support. And it's fucking sad to watch. So I'm going to go into spoilers now. What my rating for the episode is 0. There's nothing here. There's just nothing. I'm sorry. It's just a 0 episode. A 0 out of 10. So I'm going to go into spoilers now. If you're not going to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So the episode starts off with Picard on the floor, unconscious, after something happened to him. And then we go back to an earlier scene because that's going to happen later on in the episode. We'll find out why Picard's on the ground, unconscious. So we go to the earlier scene. Picard and Rios are in the queue. Rios gets up to the front. They scan his badge. They don't see him on the list. Agnes is on the chair with the Queen, trying to get out of the cuffs. She manages to pull something out of her dress to knock out the security guards. I mean, that's pretty stupid, isn't it? Why wasn't she tapped down? I mean, it's not like that dress was able to hide anything. I mean, Jesus, come on. There's no way she'd hide that. Like, it's a massive steel. It's a massive bit of metal. You could. Oh, anyway, she knocks out the security team. She can't get out of the cuffs though because she's a human. But the Queen manages to convince her to take control of her body. And apparently now that the Queen's inside Agnes, she can just rip the cuffs off. And she does. Agnes gets to the computer, puts in a code, and puts Picard and Rios on the guest list so they can get through security. The next scene is pretty much we're in the party still. Picard's with the Watcher talking, about Renee and how we have to make sure she's ready to join, to go on a mission because she's the only hope for the future of fucking time. And this whole episode is just so fucking bad. So they have discussion about relationships. The Watcher keeps bringing up the fact Picard keeps calling her a different name. Picard apologizes. They then see Renee is texting somebody. Turns out she's texting Q, and what annoys me is we don't see Q in this episode at all. Again, the only character I'm actually interested from this show, and he's never in it. It's why bring him back if you're not going to use him? So the Watcher has a device to hack into Renee's phone so they can see what she's texting. She's texting Q, telling Q that she's not ready, she's not confident, she's too scared to go on the mission, and Q's pretty much telling her to not go on the mission and to pretty much, stay on Earth. Picard then says that they need to talk to Renee and, boost her confidence to get her on the mission. And the Watcher says, no, you've got to leave her alone. That's the rules. You don't interfere with the person we're protecting. You leave her alone. You need to be a ghost. But Picard pretty much convinces her that they need to get involved. They need to boost up her confidence because she's pretty much nearly ready to give up. We then get this weird scene with the Watcher who then starts to worry about Rennie and says maybe she's not ready to go on the mission. And I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about? You're from the fucking future. You know she's ready for it because she's done it already in your fucking time. Why the fuck are you saying she's not ready or you're worried about her when you know she's going to do it? You're from the fucking future. This makes no sense, other than to make you look like a caring character. You shouldn't be a caring character. You're supposed to be a Watcher. You're supposed to be making sure Renee goes on his mission so time doesn't get fucked up. So, just an annoying scene. We then have a scene between Rios and Raffi. It was a boring scene. Raffi has another illusion moment seeing Lego Boy. She's really not doing well. I just don't care about her story. That was all she was there for, to have this fucking crazy moment thinking she saw fucking Lego Boy. Then talks to Rios for a little bit. Rios then starts talking about the fucking Mexican doctor woman because he's fallen in love with her or something. And Raffi has to remind Rios that you're from the fucking future. It's not like you can have a relationship with her. We're going to be gone soon. Get the fuck over it. Oh, bloody hell. 7 and 9 was there. She's enjoying herself in this period because she hasn't got any of the Borg implants and the human being's not scared of her. Because that was so important to 7 and 9's character in Voyager. They've really damaged 7 and 9 in this show. She's a very weak person in this show. A very weak person. So the next scene is Picard trying to get up to Renee to try to boost her confidence. And they get stopped by Dr. Soon, who's also there, who's apparently donated a shitload of money to the project. So he's now an important guest in the show. But Patrick Stewart manages to walk away. He gets a warning from Soon, who tells him Q sent him and not to interfere with Renee. Patrick Stewart legs it somewhere else, tries to ask for distraction, where we get Agnes and the Borg Queen teaming up together again to do a singing number. And I really don't care about the singing. You could have done anything in that moment to get Anyway, who gives a shit? So yeah, apparently Agnes can sing. She manages to distract the crowd. Picard manages to get away from the security that soon sends after him, and he just happens to bump into Renee. They start talking about, fear and what it means, and does that mean don't do something, or does that mean try to conquer it? Picard manages to convince Soji that fear is something you're supposed to conquer, not listen to, and that manages to work and convince Renee to go on a mission, and there you go. That was the whole thing to keep Renee going on the mission, was just a little pep talk. That was all you needed to get her back on track to go on the mission. Fucking hell. But Agnes is starting to have problems now because the Queen is managing to take over her body, and then has now taken full control of Agnes's body. So the Borg Queen is Agnes now, and pretty much guaranteed that she is the Borg from the first episode. She's going to be the Borg Queen from the first episode. Jesus Christ. So with that, we go back to Soon, who jumps in his car, tries to run down Rennie, but Picard manages to push Rennie out of the way and gets hit by the car himself. So from the earlier part of the episode where Picard's on the floor unconscious, it's because Soon hit him with a car. And Rios and Raffi try to get to him, but they know they can't take him to a hospital because he's a fucking robot and he needs ID. Which is also confusing because I thought Picard was a fucking robot. You're telling me he can't take a hit from a car? I mean, why have they made Picard a fucking robot if everything he does still makes him look and feel like a fucking old man? So he can be hit by a car and nearly die from it. And again, there is no proof here that he's a fucking robot because they don't know what to do with this, do they? They just don't know. They've made him a fucking robot and just fucking forget about it all the fucking time. So Rios has the idea of taking him to the Mexican woman's, hospital because she hasn't asked questions and that's what they need right now. So they take him back to that hospital. We go back to see Dr. Soon, who's gone back to see his daughter. Tells his daughter that she is his life's work, and then he didn't go somewhere else. I don't know where he fucking goes. But then the daughter goes into his office and finds a bunch of files, and she sees that he's had a bunch of daughters. So basically, she's a clone. So they brought cloning back into Star Trek again. Yeah, she's a clone or something that he created, and this could be them trying to point to the eugenics stuff. I mean, the Soon family, if this is true, and Soon is the one who created the eugenics shit, how the fuck did any of his family ever get put near science again? That's insane. If he's that person who created the eugenics wars. I mean, oh my god, this show is so fucking stupid. But yes, Soji is something weird. She's a clone, she's something that he's created, and he's lost a bunch of daughters before her, and this is his last attempt at whatever he's planning. So probably find out what that is next week. Back with Picard. Picard's unconscious in the hospital. The Mexican doctor is trying to, revive him, but she's trying to use it. She tries to use a defibrillator on him, but that blows up. But apparently that manages to stabilize him, so he's not dead. He's just unconscious. At the same time, we get fucking Picard remembering his father and his mother. The fact that they're really trying to make you believe that the mother is the reason he joined Starfleet. The mother is the reason he left home, because the father was an abuser. Again, we've never heard this from Star Trek, from his time with his brother. anything. It's just been, again, Picard cares about his family. He cares about his legacy. And yet they're trying so hard to make us believe that his father was an abuser. And I just don't give a shit, because I just know it's not true. Again, if you've been abused, you don't care about your family in that way. Because I know somebody who's been abused. Or has been in an abusive relationship. You would never want to remember that stuff. And you would never want to go back to that place where you were abused, or you know somebody was abused. So why would Picard want to go near his winery? Why would he want to go near his family legacy? Why would he give a shit? That's his father's legacy. Why would he care? Why would he feel sorry about it? This doesn't make sense. They're trying to do this shit to make us believe that it was his mother who pushed him and did all this shit. Because again, it's just because she's a fucking woman. And Patrick Stewart's a white man. He can't have that be, the good thing. It has to be because a woman helped him. And I don't give a shit, because that's just not true. And I'm so happy this show is in the shit. I'm so happy that they're pretty much giving up on this show because of how bad it is. Fuck you, Patrick Stewart. Fuck you, Kurtzman. And fuck the lot of you. Because you don't understand what you're writing. And you don't understand the fucking abuse relationship. You really don't. And it pisses me off. You have no idea what you're writing. And you have no idea what you're talking about. So Picard can't wake up. So the Watcher has the idea of going into Picard's body and trying to get him out that way. So next episode is just going to be us in Picard's head. That's pretty much guaranteed now, because the Watcher's going to jump in there. Fucking hell. Oh, we then get this scene between Rios and the Doctor, and Rios trying to explain what's happening, and it doesn't really go well. By the way, you're in the same hospital you left your badge in. Would you like to go get that? You know that bit of technology you've left in the fucking past? Go get the fucking badge! You fucking idiots. And then the episode ends. Again, it's a pointless episode. I'm fucking done. These writers have no idea what they're doing. I'm fucking sick of it. And that's the end of my review. Next week my review is going to be a lot later, because I changed my working hours from nights to days, so my reviews will be up later in the day next week. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. And if you do like my content, do think about subscribing. Hail CG and fuck SJWs. Bye guys.